3 minutes isn't enough, but we are going to get started. So Blair Gifford from Global Health Connections, you're on.
Thank you very much, Emily. It's good to see everybody. And I guess this is the 10th anniversary of WASH, and thanks to all the Rotary Clubs for sponsoring this. I'm with Global Health Connections. We're a not-for-profit based in Denver, and we're an NGO in Kenya. Actually, in 2009, 2010, we started the WASH conference as a not-for-profit, but it was a little bit too much for us. We had about 100 some odd people at the Auraria campus in St. Cajetan's, and then Rotary took it over. So it's great to see it's still going on 12 or so years later. Global Health Connections has something called Community Health and Empowerment Clubs. I'll be over in Nairobi in a few weeks meeting with Citizen TV, who wants to start a TV show in Eastern Africa and various nations, sort of like their Shamba Shape Up show, which is on agriculture. The TV show will be Village Makeover, and they will use our community health and empowerment clubs as a primary factor in that. So let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing. We're in the Kisii area of Kenya, which is in Western Kenya. There's about 50 villages we're working with, but 4 in principle right now. In community health and empowerment clubs, we have local leaders, community health workers, and microfinance people. They go into villages, get cooperation from village leaders and government officials, and over a 9-month period, they give about 6 months of training and experiential education to about 150 villagers who are members of the club. And in healthcare, we have sanitation, water, and hygiene, but we also look at malaria and COVID, infant care, gender-based equity, et cetera. They have experiential exercises they take back to their household, and then our community health workers go to households to see if they've implemented their learnings. Those that graduate after 6 months of health learnings can go into economic empowerment, and that gets into microfinance, business development, funding, marketing, et cetera. And we lead people into income groups, income generating groups. So after 9 months, we expect the communities to, the members to graduate and implement these things at home. And to make this happen, we have our community health workers go to the houses to make sure people are implementing things.
Mommy.
Also, we've set up some models in the communities, a kitchen garden. We have a sanitary latrine, and we reinforce a water source to show people how these can be done in their own household compounds. So this is working really, really well. We've really been impressed with the accountability and getting households to make a difference. And we also have analytics for measurement and evaluation. We have a baseline survey we do prior, and then we do a 1-year survey and then a 2-year survey to make sure that what's going on in the villages sticks. We're doing this in conjunction with the University of Colorado Center for Global Health, Jake Jab's Center for Entrepreneurship, and the Managing for Sustainability program. I know I must be near my end, so I'll just say that this is a Rotary-based project to a great extent. We have a global grant right now that we're trying to get support for. We're also starting an Adopt a Village program. So schools like an Interact Club from Rotary or what have you can adopt a village and zoom in with the village and watch how they change over the next 2 or 3 years, as well as a Rotary Club. They can adopt a village. They can even go over there and maybe do a safari in Masai Mara or some other place. But we're getting a tremendous response, and many, many communities are asking us to come in. The impact has been phenomenal in the villages. It is a village-based local leader approach and empowering the locals to take care of themselves. And it seems to be working very, very well. So if you have any interest in learning more about it, I have left my contact information in the chat room. Please send me a note or a text or what have you, and I will give you more information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Blair. All right, up next online, we have Chris Rossell with People to People Incorporated.
Thank you very much, Emily. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. I'm with an organization, I'm the president, called P2P, and it's P2P Incorporated. We work with impoverished communities that lack WASH services. Currently, we're working with Achiba Village in Uganda, And with Karongo and Masuni in Kenya, we have been asked to do a lot more, but we haven't raised enough funding yet. We'd like to go to 400 villages. We are a partnership of volunteer professionals, local NGOs, Rotary, and communities. We work together with formal signed agreements. With communities that request our help, we assess, plan, implement, and evaluate together. We include local indigenous NGO partners, nonprofit partners. To influence systems change, we also publish and share our methods. The goals of our organization are: 1, to eliminate diarrhea, eliminate malaria, stop respiratory infections, and prevent birthing losses. We also increase disposable incomes. You may ask, why do we do those things? They cause 93% of under 5 disease and death in the communities we serve. Increased disposable income is also part of sustainability. So how do we achieve those goals? We do it by eliminating diarrhea, stopping fecal oral transmission. That's VIP latrines, tippy taps, locally made soap, potable water, silver permeated pot filters, all locally made. We use other solutions for the other problems. All are in the book that How to Improve the World Quickly, that's on Amazon. Our assistance is technical and financial, delivered virtually through Zoom, WhatsApp, World Remit, and other methods. We will travel to our partner communities in January to consult more with them. Our funding is raised through the web, through family, friends, churches, grant writing. We take no salaries and charge no overhead. I'd like to invite you to join us. We're P2P Incorporated, a 501c3. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, web at Goodwater International, with international being INTL.com. Our books are on Amazon, including How to Improve the World Quickly, which lays out all of our methods. We've had 35 years of experience from it and have continually improved based on world knowledge. Thank you. Was that too short?
That was great. Very fascinating.
I also posted links in the chat.
Hey, Chris, if you could hear me, did you have a book on Amazon, you said, or a manual of some sort?
Right, it's Goodwater, I'm sorry, How to Improve the World Quickly. So it lays out all of our methods, and it's basically a photo book of the work in the fields to document that it works.
Oh, good. Put that in the chat for us. Thank you.
Great.
Do we have other presenters, Jarl?
Yes, we do. Mary with the American Water Works Association, we can, oh, Henry?
Yes.
Cool, hi.
Hello. Yes.
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. My presentation is quite very simple and very basic. My name is Henrik Kunkeani. I come from Malawi. I am the founder and executive director of Water for Generations, an organization registered in Malawi and also in the US. We are quite very new in the system and we haven't done so much. However, I have quite vast experience in WASH activities after implementing quite a comprehensive number of activities in WASH in Malawi. And my organization was established with the passion to look at issues of water governance, because most of us are implementing WASH programs, yes, but how do we influence the government to sustain water resources? Because most of the times when we implement our programs, and maybe sometimes we leave them, but how do we enforce that the beneficiaries are benefiting all these facilities and water resources for life? So my organization was established with the passion to support sustainable water supply, access, and management. And currently we are working on the ground to look at issues of, we are researching where we needed to identify challenges in terms of water governance issues in the area of WASH in health facilities, WASH in schools, and also WASH in communities. So we are looking forward to collaborating with the partners, including Rotarians and many other passionate organizations that have already presented their organizations and what they are doing across the globe. We are quite very new, and we want to learn more from others, while we are also trying to bring in new ideas and new approaches when it comes to water governance, water resources management, and implementing evidence-based WASH programs across the globe. But particularly, my organization is a local organization based in Malawi. And that's what we are doing currently. So thank you very much for your attention. I look forward to partnering with you guys. And I'm also a WASH e-club member. I participate in our e-club meetings during all our conferences. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate. Thank you.
Thanks, Henrik. Up next, we have Mary Svoboda from American Waterworks Association. You're on.
Hi, everybody. I am Mary Svoboda from the American Waterworks Association. I work specifically for the membership programs, and more specifically, student chapters and young professionals are one of my big focuses. So today I would like to mainly also speak to them because I have things to share for those students out there. And happy 10th anniversary to the WASH Symposium. Glad I could make it virtually. Next year, I do hope to be there in person. So a little bit about American Waterworks Association. I've been here for 3 years, and when I started, I didn't know what AWWA did or what it was. I just wanted to work for a place where people cared about people, there was positive thinking, and it did something good or it was meaningful. And American Waterworks Association was all those things. American Waterworks Association has been around for 140 years. We have around 50,000 members, over 4,000 volunteers that contribute, and also over hundreds of committees. AWWA is an international nonprofit, scientific, and educational society dedicated to ensure safe and clean water. And also, their mission is a better world through better water. So all of that was a huge attraction to me, and I made a good choice by working at American Waterworks Association. So of the things I wanted to talk about is I wanted to tell all the students out there things that I didn't know when I was I didn't know when I was a student, and I wish I knew these things. First of all, student membership. Right now, we are running a promotion. It's $10 for a student, and I encourage all students to be a part of association. It doesn't matter what association it is. There's something in it for you. There's career development. It's a way to follow your passion and network with other people. And first of all, the easiest thing to do is get a membership. That alone, you can put that on your resume. And then I also suggest using the benefits of your membership. There's research papers you have to do. And with membership, you get this enormous information exchange from the journal, OpFlow, Water Science. There's so many sources of information. American Waterworks Associations, their strategic plan and their goals are protect public health, safeguard the environment, innovation, advance diversity and inclusion. And these are just some of them. Like American Waterworks Association does so much. When I was a student, I didn't take the time to join an association. I thought I didn't have enough time for it because I went to school during the day, worked at night. I didn't think I wanted to spend more money on yet another thing. And I just didn't know the benefits in it. And to let you know, the networking aspect to it is so valuable to you. It gets you in front of people. It gets you to learn about people that are passionate about it. The Young Professional Committee, for example, is one of the committees I work with. One of their big focuses is the students. And they run all of these programs for the students to help you with career development. They have an event where they talk about resumes. What is it that the industry is looking for today? What are the important things in water? How to improve your skills? Join a student chapter. This gives you leadership skills and an officer. That's something else you could put on your resume. And you know, there's scholarships available. There's over $200,000 in scholarships available right now. Any association has so much to offer, and I just highly want to encourage you guys to all engage in them. And the more you engage, the more use you'll get out of it. Your future self will thank you for it. And I just want to give you a quick example right now as to how membership can work for you. One of our Young Professional Committee members, she lost her job earlier this year. Within 2 weeks, she had several interviews, and then she had 3 job offers. So in 2 weeks, she accepted a job, and she had a choice from 3 different jobs to choose from. And so now she's happily employed. So there's the power of network, and also the power of doing something good. And water is something that is more than valuable to all of us. So I appreciate all of you guys here. I appreciate the symposium, and hope to see you guys next year. Again, students, please follow your passion, get engaged, and get ahead. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm going to put my email address in here and also our website. So if you want to get a student membership, just ask me for more information. And our website is awwa.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And for any students that are here that would like for information, we can give that to you as well. Up next, we have another E-Club WASH member, Megan Prentice.
Hello, everyone. Sounds like we're out in numerous numbers today with the symposium. My name is Megan Prentice, and I'm representing our Rotary E-Club of WASH and a project that we're working on that we're excited to share. Our club is an all virtual club made up of WASH professionals from around the world, and we have been virtual since our founding in 2016 in New Zealand. One of our club's initial goals was to improve Rotary WASH communications and coordination through the use of a mobile app or a survey to share data and project information worldwide. We have a community assessment and citizen science committee that's focused on this effort that was developed in 2018 or started up then. I've been with the committee just a year and our club for a year, but we've got folks that have been working hard on it since our initiation. We have nearly 1.2 million Rotarians worldwide, and as you can imagine, many of those are working on water and sanitation projects. And so our goal, again, is really to create a standardized baseline survey for water and sanitation projects around the world. And we want to make sure that those are user-friendly, that you could use a mobile device for them. Also using internationally recognized questions and key indicators from the Joint Monitoring Program, the World Health Organization, and the United Nations Children's Fund. and then also aligning with the Rotary Global Grant Community Assessment requirements. And so there's a whole list of requirements, but not really a set survey of what you should be asking and doing for Rotary Global Grants to apply for them and that community assessment. So we want to at least get a baseline and make sure folks are asking some of those initial questions that'll help them to apply for those grants. And with that, we're also utilizing survey data to promote a more holistic and cost-effective Rotary wash projects worldwide. So really being effective with our use of those funds, making sure we're not duplicating efforts, and then also identifying opportunities for more fruitful Rotary collaborations with project communities and taking action on WASH together. And so identifying where are projects happening and where are the gaps. And to do that, we're using a platform many of you might have heard of before called mWater. And that is an open source GIS platform used in over 180 countries. And we've got a prototype survey that we've been developing and testing in 2 areas. One in South Sudan with water for South Sudan, and then one with hand wash in Haiti. And the questions in that survey right now are mostly focused on water as we're testing out the survey. And it's focused on the water point location, a little information about the Rotary Club and the contact information. That way, if Rotarians are looking at those projects on the platform, they can see who's working and where, and how do you get in touch if they want to do a project there as well. It also has consent and photo opportunities on there, water point characterization, the cost of the water use, reliability, sanitation inspections, and water quality inspections. We've done a little bit just starting out with some of the questions around sanitation and hygiene and waterborne disease as well. And even in South Sudan, we had some specific questions around gender-based violence to see what we could collect for that organization that had some specific questions around that and water and how those 2 areas intersected. And so we've collected all the data with those 2 small surveys, and just getting some feedback, trying to better understand how we can improve, what deployment logistics are needed, and especially the translation, getting people trained on how to do the surveys, using their cell phones to log in and get signed up. And so we're still learning a lot just on that side of things, and really the processes to get that set up in country. And then slowly we'll also be building out the questions in that survey further. And so if you're interested in more, we have, of course, our Rotary eClub, lots of members to connect with here today, but you can go to rotarywasheclub.org and learn more about our committee there as well. It's Community Assessment Citizen Science, so CACS we'll tab on our website. Thanks for having
Megan,
Awesome
I'm
job,
gonna
Megan.
add my voice
For
in
those
support.
here, I'm also a part of that committee, so if you'd like to learn more or have any questions, you can find me. That ends our virtual exhibitors. We now are going to hear from some in-person exhibitors, and we are going to start off with Patrice Henning and, oh, sorry, you go.
We can't hear you on Zoom.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. We're good. Again, so my name is Will Taylor. I'm with Caroline Tower Advisors, and just wanted to give you a couple of things in terms of information about Caroline. We're headquartered in St. Petersburg, Florida. We manage about 70 billion in assets under management. And as I mentioned previously, our sole business is helping clients meet their financial goals, and we work and partner specifically with Patrice around that initiative. I think one of the most exciting things that we found that's really been growing in our business is aligning investors' values around their investment decisions. And since 2010 through 2018, investments in ESG have really grown to the tune of about 400%. So right now we're looking at roughly 18 billion in assets in just the ESG space alone. That's been an exciting part of what we do every day, at least in our business. And really for us, it's grown from maybe 20 years ago where that's been a very exclusive conversation where if companies weren't participating in activities that we thought were good for sustainability, we wouldn't invest in them. Well, today it's a very inclusive conversation where we can engage corporations either through proxy or helping them come along into becoming more sustainable. So a good example of that is something like Starbucks. From an ESG perspective, in an environment, they've really leaned into the idea of being net zero in terms of the net zero initiative. From a social standpoint, they're 100% gender pay equality. And then from a governance standpoint, they have 40% diversity, 40% people of color diversity on their board. So that's a good example of a way that we've engaged in the ESG, and I'll pass it over to Patrice.
Thank you so much, Will, and thanks for partnering with me today, because I think environment, social governance, ESG is critically important as we move that WASH blue thread from the 7 priorities that Rotary has. And I also think it's super powerful to be here, not only virtually, but in person, as I was able to meet Chuck today, who's heavily involved in a water project in Malawi and good friends with our CEO, Paul Riley. So it's a really small world. I'm also a member of Rotary Evergreen. I've been involved with the budget committee, with this WASH organizing committee this year. That's been something that's been really interesting to me because I've been involved in the WASH Symposium since 2017 after having met Steve and Peter and them welcoming Anthony Hulula, who is on virtually. I don't know, Anthony, if you can give us a wave. Can you hear me? My co-founder and my alumni brother, Anthony Hulula, it's in the evening hours now in Nairobi, Kenya. I understand he's not feeling well, but it's wonderful having him here too, because he is also a member of Westlands Rotary. And it's without my alumni brothers that none of this would be possible. I think Jeremiah Mumo, my other co-founder of the Center of Love in Kibera, Kenya, that I spoke of earlier, is having some internet difficulties. Jeremiah, if you are on, just give a wave. And it's in Kibera where the Center of Love is located. Anthony is going to post our website in the chat room if you want to learn a little bit more about what we're doing. But it all started in 2017 when I asked the question, why do the children that Jeremiah serves through Friends of Love Kibera, why are they continuing to get moved? And so shortly thereafter, my alumni brothers helped direct me in how we could purchase land in Kibera. We now have about 3/4 of an acre. We were able to connect to the Nairobi water supply, which was only about 900 meters away. You can actually see the skyscrapers of the very robust capital city, Nairobi, Kenya, from the slums of Kibera, where some 1 million people call home. Our 120 to 170 children that attend a weekend program receive not only nourishment of their bodies. One little boy, when I first went over in 2014 for the first time, had worms and malnutrition. He's now part of a scholarship program, very robust scholarship program, but we also teach water, sanitation, and hygiene to the children. We have champions now that go into their schools and teach other children. Our parents have told us that their children come home and they say, Mommy and Daddy, I can't eat yet. We need to wash our hands. We recently worked with the Department of Health Ministry and our local chiefs and elders, and we now have modern toilets. I know this might not sound like a very big deal for some of you, but modern toilets and 2 showers. There are no showers within about a mile radius of our community center. In addition to the children, we serve about 500 families. All of our goals, our strategic planning goals from 2017 to 2020 have been met. We're a community-based organization initially. We're in the final stages of becoming an NGO. That's very important because as COVID, I always say the global recession, we were all invited to it and we were all invited to the pandemic, right? And so in a place like Kibera or in an informal settlement where Anthony serves through Engao Foundation, the organization he founded, everybody was in lockdown. If they had a job that maybe paid them $1 a day, they couldn't leave to perform that job. And so we got involved with our alumni brothers and sisters here in the United States, as well as Rotary Evergreen, and my alumni brothers and sisters in Kenya, to feed people for about 8 weeks to make sure they weren't facing starvation. We realized we were going out of Kibera to do that, so we are in the final stages of becoming an NGO. We look forward to partnering with Rotary on a very robust youth program directed to young men 18 to 36 years of age approximately that have no job. They've approached us, they want to work, they're desperate to work, and we feel that this will augment what we're doing with girls and women in our community by having strong partners. And we're also looking forward to an agricultural program on the additional property that we now own. I wrote down, I think we need to plant trees to make certain that we're feeding people with mangoes and maybe avocados, but at the same time, dealing with the heavy rains. And I'm getting the sound off. Thank you so much for having us today. Caribou.
Good morning, I'm Katie Troyer, the Executive Director of the KGSA Foundation, and it's a perfect segue because we also work in Kibera. KGSA stands for the Kibera Girls Soccer Academy, and we are a free holistic high school that serves 130 girls every year in Kibera. We are new to Posner, and actually I was a student of PBA over 15 years ago, so I feel like I've come full circle. And it's just so wonderful to hear about all the projects happening in Kenya as well as Kibera. I was there last month, so hello everyone online, Jambo. And I really loved what Patty said in the last session, that providing WASH keeps girls in school because it's actually absolutely essential. Only 44% of girls in Kenya finish high school. KGSA's vision is to educate, inspire, and empower girls, harnessing the power of the girl effect to break the cycle of poverty and build a stronger, more resilient community. Girls in Kibera face many challenges. High school education is expensive and families often invest in their sons or their daughters. Girls bear the burden of household chores, including standing in line for hours to collect water. They're also at risk of sexual harassment and child marriage. Many girls go to bed hungry in Kibera and lack access to electricity, clean water, and sanitation and hygiene in their homes. During the pandemic, poverty and gender-based violence increased in Kibera and across Kenya. And I'm so sad today to say that one of our students was lost in the last week due to gender-based violence. KGSA addresses these challenges by caring for the whole girl. In addition to academics, we provide free school meals and WASH. We have a full-time social worker, and we partner with a local clinic in Kibera to provide free healthcare to the girls. We offer extracurricular clubs, of course, soccer, that's in our name, but we also have a journalism club, a catering club, a business club, and also netball and volleyball once the girls are allowed to start playing again. We provide college scholarships to our highest performing girls and career development to all our alumni. In 2018 and 19, our students performed better than the national average on their final high school exams. To date, we have graduated over 340 girls, with 60 plus pursuing some kind of higher education. For example, Asha from the class of 2011 is a journalist and activist in Kibera who was featured in the New York Times and National Geographic. Dalifa from the class of 2012 studied education, and she returned to KGSA where she now teaches math and biology. KGSA believes in local leadership. We were founded in 2002 originally as a soccer program to get girls off the streets. Our founder, Wilkeson quickly learned that what the girls most needed was an education. So he opened his home and we started a school with just 2 volunteer teachers and 13 students. Today, KGSA has 2 school buildings, and a few months ago, we opened our new dormitory. We're currently boarding 40 girls, thanks to a generous grant from the Obama Foundation, and we hope to offer room and board to all 130 girls in the future as funding allows. We are currently partnering with Rotary. Denver Southeast is providing a scholarship to one of our 2020 graduates. And we just signed a 3-year MOU with the Rotary Club of Nairobi Upper Hill. They just did their first project with us last month by providing free sanitary pads to the girls and providing feminine hygiene education as well. So we are very open to working with Rotary, both here locally and more in Kenya. So thank you so much for your time. Our table is back there, and if you're here, feel free to stop by and I can show you a video about the school. Thank you so much.
Heidi, can you tell us the name of that last speaker?
Hello. I am Carol Dooster, and my husband and I have been traveling to Southeast Asia for about 16 years to teach. My background is education. It is my honor to serve on the board of directors for the Cambodian Community Dream Organization, and I will refer to this as the CCDO. I work both in the country and from my home in Salida, Colorado. The CCDO was founded with one well in 2007. Today we have over 1,600. Clean water is a game changer. It decreases infant and mother mortality. It increases the amount of time students can go to school and parents can work. It increases agricultural and food production and decreases the time spent mostly by women and children collecting water. In 2017, we turned over the day-to-day operation to an amazing team of young, brilliant Cambodians. Each of them have a story of struggle, hardship, and overcoming unfathomable obstacles. Each story brings me to my knees. Every well we build comes with a clay filter. And you can only imagine the excitement. You have clean water, and then you have to educate them on how to use a filter. They're like, what? Anyway, it's a joy to see that face when they get the clean water for the first time. $325 buys a well and changes a life forever. You all know that well water is only as clean as the groundwater. 80% of the poorest rural Cambodians defecate in the open. Latrines offer a new level of privacy for women, healthier environment for everyone. We now have over 800 latrines and $275 buys a latrine. We really thank all of you here today for your devotion and compassion, for your energy to bring clean water to the world. But most especially, I gotta thank the Rotarians that are putting this on and supporting the Cambodian Community Dream Organization. We have Rotary clubs in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in mainland China, and even in Phnom Penh, who support the CCDO. So thank you for your time today.
Hi, folks. My name is Tim Wellman. I'm the Executive Director of Water Engineers for the Americas and Africa, also known as WEFTA. And yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks to the Rotarians. I think that was a great comment that you all do such amazing work and have influenced me since I was a Boy Scout growing up in Boulder. WEFTA is a nonprofit. We work in Latin America and Africa. We were founded in 2002. We're primarily a volunteer organization. We have country coordinators that manage our projects on the ground. We send engineers, scientists, program managers, water and wastewater operators that give their pro bono work to the projects where we're working. That all said, we have now grown a little bit outside of our abilities. So we are now, well, by way of private and private donors and foundations, funding a small portion of our administrative side to be able to keep people like myself and my 2 other staff able to run all of the programs that we're doing. As of 2015, we got engaged with the WASH and healthcare facilities program, really an initiative under multiple layers, but working in Africa and also just completed a project in Chiapas, Mexico, where we're bringing water and sanitation to healthcare facilities. A surprising initiative that many of the healthcare facilities in the developing world do not have water or sanitation, or at least adequate water and sanitation. So getting groundwater or rainwater, spring-fed gravity flow systems to these clinics, as you can imagine, has quite the impact, as well as latrines, gender-separate latrines with menstrual hygiene facilities, and having quite an impact there. Thankfully, right now we've got a team in Ethiopia working with Village Health Partnership in the Western Omo zone of Ethiopia, creating those completing WASH assessments to ensure that we know how much is needed for these facilities in Western Omo. That all said, I know we're on short time, so it's a pleasure to be here. I am back there in the corner. Come and visit. Thanks a lot.
Okay, hey everybody. Great to see so many familiar faces and some new ones as well. We are short on time, so I'll be quick. My name is Elise Mann. I've been with IDE for over 2 years. I'm the Innovation and Performance Manager. As we heard from Liz this morning in the opening, we're based upstairs, and we work with entrepreneurs around the world to really catalyze markets for impact and poverty. So with the WASH program, over the last decade, we've sold over 1 million toilets and over 600,000 water filters in partnership with these businesses that we work in 6 countries across the world. I joined IDE because I was really interested in human-centered design and our data-driven results. And in my role, have the privilege to really work with our WASH leads around the world to solve problems and think more about how do we creatively and sustainably solve WASH challenges, especially sanitation challenges around the world. So come check out Dave and I in the back corner or back direction, and we'll talk more about how we can scale and really achieve SDG 6. Thanks so much.